Harriet Haynes and Amy Beauchamp. They finished last year as the numbers 1 and 2. They are currently the number 1 and 2 this year. 6 Women's Series titles between them, 7 if you include the title here for Harriet Haynes. Last time we were in Daventry, and I think last time we were in Daventry was as good as I've seen her play as well. She was absolutely fantastic on making it through. And I'm delighted to say that we've got another Women's Series champion joining me on commentary for this one. Danielle Randall, how are you?
Good, thanks Simon, thanks for having me.
And of course, off to a very good start yourself today. Played very well?
Yeah, I played Kelly Leary today. Used to play county with her for Buckinghamshire and I won 5-1, 3 dishes. So yeah, happy with that.
Very good start for yourself. What do you make of this matchup? We're sort of building it up. Obviously, it's an open draw here, which is why they've ended up in the same group, because you can end up with anybody. If it was seeded, they would be the opposite ends of the draw completely. But they were the final last time we were here. They've been sharing out the titles with Ultimate Pool, and it really is as big as it gets in the women's game at the moment.
Yeah, it's basically a final, isn't it? I think it's going to be a decider either way, to be honest. I do think Harriet's playing very good pool at the minute, though. So if I had to pick a winner, I probably would just say Harriet to edge it, but Amy could definitely prove me wrong.
Yeah, I think the form book says that Harriet just has the slight edge. Won last time we were here in Daventry, World Final, won the Masters in Morocco, won the last time we were in Blackpool as well. So there's certainly the recent form, the tournaments are going Harriet's way. But
yeah, definitely. Like even watching her in the pro event of the last tour, she had some very good results against the men. Just definitely playing some good pool at the minute.
I think her game's gone from strength to strength because of playing in the pros, from being elevated to the pros, as finishing last year as the number 1 on the women's series, and now she's obviously competing against the pros and getting some very good victories against some of the great players of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you ever see Harriet on TikTok, she's never off the table, literally playing live every single night, and she absolutely deserves everything she gets out of the game. She puts in the hard work. So yeah, it's no surprise.
She got the edge over you in terms of hours on TikTok? It's got to be close, isn't it? You're both on there.
I think I've just got more followers, but I don't go live as much as she does. To be honest, I haven't really been on it since start of the summer maybe, but she definitely puts more time in than I do on it.
So just the safety and a good one. Couldn't quite get the shot to open it up, so putting Amy under pressure here. And if it's not touching the ball, it's a very good shot.
I think the referee said it was touching. So.
Okay, that does change things. Means that Amy can just play away from this red, and as long as she hits a cushion, it will be a legal shot. Well, that's given Harriet half a chance here up the table.
I probably would have tried to leave her a bit tighter to the yellow.
Yeah, I thought she might come straight off the bottom cushion. Maybe it was a bit of a stretch to reach that, but this is, or maybe she's dangling the carrot here and saying, come on then Harriet, do you fancy taking this one on to the top left? The problem she has with that, if she gets it, the natural angle of the cue ball is going to be going through a minefield of reds.
She's putting her in behind this yellow, is she?
Well, Amy's going to get her reward for the shot that she's played, because now she has the chance to win this frame.
These reds are quite nice now. It's just the only problem red she has is the one on the right hand side of the table, but other than that everything's good.
Tricky opening shot here, just trying to make her mind up how she wants to go about it. That's a good shot.
Good shot. Yep.
Now she can control herself and find the finish. Probably just finished a touch betwixt and between again, though.
Be interesting to see what way she goes about the red on the right hand side of the table. She might play into it now.
She did, but misses the red. Maybe a focus on the cannon, not the pot. So we're disappointed with that. Wasn't that close.
Yeah, both of these players are pretty attacking, aren't they, when the finish is on? they'll go for it more times than not. Harriet just having a look at where she wants to leave the cue ball.
Hampered queuing really has to hit this one well, especially if she's trying to force it. The natural's not quite there. Ooh, not quite.
The thing is with these rolls, obviously, when you're snookered, you need to cushion after, which makes this shot a lot more tricky. She must be able to see this yellow the way she's queuing. Yeah. That's a great safety.
It is. She'd love to have got right behind the yellow, though.
She left this red to the top right.
Well, Amy can definitely see it, so therefore you feel that she could definitely take control of the safety exchange at the very least. Floats it over the top right and gets the snooker at the same time.
Yeah, reds are definitely favourite in this frame. Who's your pick for this match, Simon?
It's a tough one to call. I agree with your assessment at the start, actually. I think Harriet's playing as well as I've ever seen her play, and I think she's just carrying the momentum and form at the moment. So I would have said I'd have given her the edge just before we started.
She's got a bit too much on that last shot there. Fancy me to take these out of these. Are you looking forward to the last woman standing next week?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Going to be grilling you about that in a minute and figure out which way you're going to be going on your picks and everything else.
Oh.
It is very exciting.
Yeah, it's a great format, isn't it? The men's is really, really good to watch.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the men's event. I don't think anyone really knew quite what was going to happen, and certainly the players looked very confused in the players' meeting before the event started. But once Neil Rayburn called out Tom Cousins, it was
I'll never forget his
all
face.
bets off. We were off from there, and it was so good. I want to know whether we're going to see something similar on the women's side or not. Who's obviously depends on the draw of the first match and what might happen, but yeah, it should be a fantastic weekend. All the action Saturday and Sunday from the last woman standing next week. Of course, plenty still to come here as Amy gets the first frame on the board. Right then, you'll be going into next week as one of the players that's obviously had a good season, won your first ultimate pool title, up there in the rankings. You won't be an assassin. Do you think that gives you an advantage? Just take a look at Amy's bio as well. It gets about as good as you get. 3 times Women's Series and 5 times a world champion. Plenty others as well. But what I'm trying to get at with the last woman standing is the assassins have obviously got money on their head. So if you beat them, then you've got a good chance to, you are going to win money. You've got a good chance of winning money. But obviously you're one of the high ranked players that hasn't got money on your head. Do you think you might get, people might stay away from you if you can avoid the random draws?
I don't really know, to be honest. I think if I was playing and I had the choice, I probably would go for an assassin.
Would you? So
yeah.
so next week, let's say you win the first match, would you call out an assassin straight away?
Do you know what? I'm sitting here in my chair thinking I would, because I probably would fancy my chance against a couple of them, but yeah, we'll guess we'll see.
that's I like the way that sounds. Are you going to spill any beans on which ones you might be tempted to call out? Or
No, well, obviously I don't know who they are yet, but yeah, I mean, obviously all the women are very good players. I imagine all the assassins are going to be tough to beat, whichever ones they are. But
well, my understanding, and I could be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure it's already been set that it's these two, Amy and Harriet, Emma, Barbara and Marion.
Do you know what? I haven't played Marion yet, so I'd love to get the chance to play her. Obviously, I know it would be tough, but I don't know. I really don't.
It'd be interesting to know whether, obviously you're sitting here now, obviously it's nice, whether you actually you get the win and you
Easier
think,
said than
do you
done,
look,
isn't it?
oh, well, maybe there's some, maybe I can get away, maybe later on in the tournament, or I don't know, you got to, obviously you'll probably be in the moment, won't it, how you feel, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'll depend how I'm playing that weekend as well, because some days I can turn up and I can be rubbish, but other days I can turn up and I can be playing well. So I think if I am playing well that weekend, I probably would like to go for it. But yeah, we'll see.
We will see. Yeah, I just think if you avoid that initial random draw for the first match, I think you could be a while before you get picked, just simply because there are advantages to calling out the assassins over yourself, and obviously if they're going down on the rankings, there's obviously a lot lower ranked players than yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Just coming back to the pool here, Amy's just trying to see if there's a gap to get that reds on the left hand side of the table. Not sure if she just has enough room, she might have to play into it.
Trying to avoid that, you feel? It's made things tricky.
Yeah, definitely. This is tricky now.
Oh, the treble.
Wow.
Not sure she's on the one on the cushion, and that makes this very tough. She's thinking cushion first, because she can't get there, taking the other one first.
I think if she comes off the cushion, she might be hitting it a bit thin on the right hand side. I'm not sure if she can get the shots played on well. Oh, wow. Wow.
What a great effort that was.
Just before the camera changed there, I thought she was going into it. It was a great effort.
And now potted into no man's land, though.
I wonder, can she just clip a Simon on the left hand side and leave her in behind the yellow that's closest to? Just play the safety.
Yeah, possibly. She might be thinking more aggressive. Is there a double to the corner? Yeah, there was. That was far from easy, though, to get to that potting angle. Knocked one yellow more onto the cushion, but also put a red in the middle of the top cushion. Harriet's not going to be thinking about the finish, though. Just bump this ball out, get the snooker, and look for cue ball in hand.
Has she tied them two yellows up?
One of them must go.
Oh. I think...
It does. It's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
From our overhead, it's hard to tell which one's which one would go. Maybe they don't. It's tough, but I think she's okay.
This is a tricky escape as well, because the two yellows can't kind of come off the two cushions. She comes just to the right of the two yellows. She might be able to hit it, which is what she's trying.
I'm not sure how the cue ball stayed on the table, but it has somehow, but it's still going to be cue ball in hand here. Immediately, Harriet putting herself on the tricky yellow on the cushion. Having a prolonged look at that, two yellows together. Even from that angle, it's hard to tell.
I think the one on the left of the two goes. And judging by the way she's played that shot, I'm guessing it does. Yeah. Is it touching? Oh, flies in.
Yeah, no problem at all.
What do we know?
Exactly. Should be able to get the frame on the board now then.
Yeah, I expect Harry to get these. Is there a 6 red on the cards?
I think we'd all enjoy seeing it. I'm not sure Amy or Harriet would be up for it as much.
I know Harriet practices it all the time, so she'd probably love to do one, to be fair. I'm not sure how much Amy practices them, but
I would hazard a guess at next to never with Amy.
same as myself, really.
Yeah. She's been involved in a couple. Harriet's been involved in a few as well. Harriet's had more success than Amy. Didn't want the cannon on the 8 ball, but no harm done.
Yep, all square.
All square, 14 minutes gone. This is the numbers 1 and 2 in the rankings. Of course, the mini series is non-ranked, an opportunity for a lot of players outside of the main women's series to come out and get involved. But we've had 8 tournaments in the women's series over 2 years, the main women's series that is. And these two here have split 6 of the titles between them.
Wow.
And any other 2 titles, obviously you have one of them, and Barbara Taylor won one. But amazing, these 2 players, they've been right at the top. They were so close at year 1. And here are at the end of year 2. We've got one more women's series event to come at the end of the year in November. And there's 500 ranking points between them. Bear in mind, you win 5,000 ranking points for winning an event. Shows you how tight it is. This year, Harriet's gone runner-up, semi-final, semi-final, winner. Amy's gone semi-final, runner-up, winner, quarter-final. Very strong season. Yeah, and what are you now? You're 3,000 points behind. You're certainly involved in the race for the number 1.
Pressure is on last tournament.
Yeah, if you get the win, you'll need some help from them both, won't you? You'll get 5,000 points for a win and 3,000 behind Harriet, and you get 2,000 for a semi-final. So you need her to lose in the semi-final to finish tied on ranking points. And for Amy, if she loses in the semi-final and you win the tournament, you will go above her. So that is quite tight. The only other player that has a chance to finish number 1 is Barbara Taylor. And she'd need to win the tournament and have Harriet not win any ranking points, which is pretty much hard to do. So almost impossible unless Harriet can't make the event.
I think she tried to play that red off, the red that was over the pocket. If she got that, the reds were all there, they were nice. Has left Amy a chance here. Yeah, so watching the last tour, Amy was top of the rankings and I was just behind in second, and Amy had just lost her quarterfinals before I went to play my quarters. So I remember one of the tournament directors came up and said, "Here's your chance now, you know, if you want to get back up number 1."
just when you want to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, these are all here now.
Yeah, it's going to be a fascinating fight for the number 1 come the end of the year. Same in the Pro Series as well. Obviously Tom Cousins and Stevie Dempsey, with Chris Melling having the outside chance, almost a sort of similar level kind of complexity of results to yourself.
Be interesting to see who finishes in the top 32 of the ladies ranking for a Pro Series next season.
Yeah, it's obviously going to be a big battle as well. Yeah.
Be interesting to see if there's any wildcards into the Pro Series.
Hopefully.
I imagine there will be.
Yeah.
I know of a few players that are looking to play next year that haven't played yet, and they're definitely pro standards for the ladies, so yeah, it'd be good to see girls coming on.
Yeah, exciting times for sure. As Ultimate Pool expand what's going on with the women's series into 2024 and beyond. Oh, if that yellow just gone far enough, it would have really helped if the yellow goes an extra roll and the red goes right centre. It doesn't, it just means that there might be a slight reroute here, but depends on the angle she's got to the bottom corner now.
Yeah, she'll have to take this right now.
That's a bit betwixt. Could have done with an extra 2 or 3 rolls on that one. Get the one in the bottom half of the table out of the way, but now it's an awkward angle. It's an awkward angle up the table as well.
She can play the top red to the top corner and screw back around the right yellow. Play the red to the middle.
That's okay as long as she's missing the yellow when she pots this red. I think if she does flick the yellow, it would only be the very thinnest edge on it. Also, just watch the natural angle of the cue ball. Is it going close to that top corner? Oh, she was getting the yellow and she used it. Unfortunately, it's gone too far to the left.
That's unlucky.
Big shot required then for Amy Beauchamp. Chance for Harriet then to get herself in front.
Showing off with the skill shot. Might as well get 2 of them out of the way. These are all here in the open now. Shouldn't be a problem for Harriet.
All worked out rather nicely here for Harriet. Always going to be the way though once Amy gets rid of all the reds. Makes the path nice and clear for her. Never going to be a mistake.
2-1.
Talked about how quite close the rankings are as well. If there were ranking points for the mini-series, and obviously it would have been another title for Harriet and a runner-up finish on the rankings for Amy. So it would have just kept them. It would have separated them marginally, but it would have separated them from the field even more. They've been back and forth on the titles between them.
Yeah, they're definitely the ones to beat in the tournaments. They're the ones you don't want to be meeting early on in the competition.
Are you a player that looks ahead at how the draw could unfold? Did you kind of work out where it all might play out for you? So as in, have you worked out when you could potentially play either of these 2 players?
Well, obviously I know we're in the top 3 of the rankings, so I know I shouldn't be meeting them until the semi-finals and the final.
Apart from this is an unseeded event.
Oh, sorry, this one.
Yeah, this one, yeah, sorry,
apologies. Yeah, so from the tour event that I won, that was the first time that I didn't look ahead on the draw, because I usually overthink it, and then I always said from then, right, I'm never going to look at the draw anymore. And then it turns out at this event I didn't look at the draw, and I didn't realise it was an unseeded event, and I had Harriet in the last 16, and I just wasn't ready for it at all. It was just unexpected, and then obviously she just battered me off the table in space like 20 minutes, which was amazing. She played unbelievable. But yeah, I always look ahead now for unseeded events, but no, I haven't for this event yet.
But when you won the title, you beat Harriet in the final, didn't you? You beat Amy in the semis. Semis. So you know you've taken them both back to back to get that title on the board. So it shouldn't matter where you play them.
Yeah, but I think if I looked ahead at the draw and I seen that I had Amy and then possibly Harriet in the final, I probably would have, not been as confident. But yeah, play the ball's not the player, I suppose.
Good split this one for Amy to go out. Did lose the cue ball on the break, but she has a huge amount of power. One of the most powerful breaks in the ladies' game.
Yeah, a break is massive. It's such a big asset in the ladies' game as well because, like, so you don't see the breaks as good in the women's game as obviously you would in the men's, for a lot of different reasons. But these two players just have a tremendous break. She was just not happy with that shot.
Yeah, another one that's got away from her here. Just a couple of shots here and there on the finishes she's taken on. Just got away. Keeps her a little bit of a hold in the frame in terms of there is a problem yellow. I think this is a part of the game that I think Harriet's really improved on since turning professional. So often, I think, certainly over the last couple of years, she should have just come to the table and believed that she could clear up there. And sometimes she will, sometimes she won't. But I think it's realising that actually the percentage play is just to wait a visit or two here, wait for the right time.
Yeah, I agree. I remember when I started playing Harriet, how aggressive she used to be, and I used to kind of use that to my advantage. For example, in that final that I played her,
Prime example, yeah.
she went for everything and I just kind of sat back and tried to wait to clear up, and it worked in the end. But I wouldn't be doing that next time I play her.
I felt like it was a similar story in the World Final, maybe not quite as severe. I think Harriet maybe took on a couple more than she should. Obviously, Marion took out some brilliant first visit chances herself, so it was some great finishing and counter clearing from Marion.
Her confidence was sky high going into that final, though. I remember hearing an interview before it and just couldn't believe how much confidence she had.
In terms of Harriet, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is confident as I've seen her.
The thing is, though, Simon, like, might be a bit awkward here, but for the ladies going on the stream table, obviously we don't usually get as much time as the men, so obviously Ultimate are working on that and changing it, but I feel there is a little bit of a pressure as a women's player to try and prove that we can play attack and pool, and because of that we probably do try a bit more than we probably should.
I think it's been a big factor. I used to say it a lot with some of the players that, you know, we're playing, you know, we're so used to seeing notoriously the sort of women's final tended to get onto the stream and very little else, so that when the women that made the final, it almost like felt like, especially I always used Emma as an example because I feel like Emma was always, every time she played in the final, whether she won or lost, the first question she'd ask me, and I was invariably commentating on it, was that a good advert for the women's game? Not, you know, congratulations, you won, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, she was always, it was what you know, what did that look like for the women's game? I just felt like she put a lot of pressure on herself to almost showcase the women's game. But I think what's happening now is we're seeing so much of the women's game on the stream. Now, hopefully we've got plenty more to come, but I don't think that's as big a deal anymore. It certainly it shouldn't be, and therefore you can go out and just play your game, and it's about winning.
Yeah, the pressure definitely is there, to be honest.
How many pro finals do we see where the standard, not necessarily sky high? It can be, it's about winning finals, not about the standard. It's not about trying to take out first visits all the time.
Yeah. Obviously there is such a stigma about women pro players, you know, it's just, it's hard, it is hard for us, but, you know, obviously like I said, we're seeing a lot more of it now, and we can just show them what we can do on the table.
Yeah. It's been fantastic, and events like this are really good for that, getting to see more and more players, so that when you do get out there and, you know, if you're playing your first round matches out on the stream, then by the time you get down to the quarter-final, semi-final, final, it's less of a story or an issue.
Harry's just got away with that.
Yeah, jumped the cue ball over the reds. Not allowed to play the jump shot, but it wasn't intentional, so therefore it's not a foul in any way. Can't jump over the sort of ball you're playing, if you like, but in that situation you don't see that very often either. It's the first time I've seen that in a couple of years.
Yeah, it is a rare occasion. That yellow's still safe, so it's not the worst result for Amy.
Still Harriet's frame to lose, though.
Is she going for those? Still has 2 very safe yellows. I suppose if she uses the one that's by the right middle to go into the one on the right rail that's closest to it, knock it out, then she could play the one down the rail. That's how you get rid of the 2 bad balls, but be tempted just to play the snooker here. She's going for the double the way she's queuing, yeah.
Maybe the patience is wearing a little bit thin because there's still a big problem there on yellows. Amy will probably be sat there fairly happy to see Harriet going here.
Yeah, I think she's going to use the one by the middle to go into the one on the rail, and she'll be on the one by the red to play into the opposite middle. That's where I would have been going, but she's going to have to reweigh here, I think.
Such a big frame, 3-1 or 2-2 as the match clock ticks towards the final 10. Angle might be good to go into the yellow now, but you have to be on it.
How straight is she? That's the question.
Try to manufacture it.
Force it a bit.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was just a touch too straight. I think her patience just wore a little bit thin there. She had complete control of that frame, just had to wait for the right time.
The old Harriet's back.
Still a big shot required here. Those 2 yellows played really big on this shot. Could have done with that cue ball stopping a few more rolls short of that cushion to be able to screw down the right-hand side. To do that now, I think she'll have to really jack up. Might be a touch on the thin side for that as well.
If she can screw it and just come off the cushion just before the middle pocket, she should be fine.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Wow.
That is absolutely fantastic for me. Shot of the match so far.
It's a little thin. Just wants to be wary of the middle pocket, but it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, she screwed it. It's fine.
That was a brilliant shot for Champs to get onto this 8 ball. There's no margin of error here, and that is the perfect line. Absolutely fantastic, and punishes the fact that Harriet was a little bit aggressive there. Back all square rather than being a couple behind.
Really want this 6 red, Simon.
Yeah, it's certainly not a chance. It's going to be tight. You feel like the match clock's going to come into play unless one of these 2 players wins 3 straight now.
It's easily done with these ladies.
It is. I know there's been a couple of mistakes here, but there's been nothing glaring. It's been taking on a tough finish, or you know, just maybe a hint of not being patient enough there for Harriet. But they both look like they're in sort of good form and fairly sharp out there.
Yeah, absolutely. It was always going to be a good match between these 2 girls. Tough group for them to be drawing each other in the same group, though.
Yeah, spare a thought for the other 2 in the group, though. Holly Can and Helen Rivai. Tough for them. Holly got the win over Helen earlier on today. For them, either of those 2 players to make it through to the main event on Sunday, it's going to be a tall order, although Holly has had a win recently over Harriet. So.
Yeah, Holly's been improved loads lately. I remember I played her in the mini-series last year in the quarterfinals, and she played really well against me. Yeah, I expect her to be getting to the late stages of tournaments.
Well, that's given Amy half a chance if she wants to go for reds here, but there's some problems there. You have to question whether it's worth it.
Yeah, these reds at the bottom, I don't think. She's just having a look to see if the red tied up with the yellow goes into the left corner pocket. And then the red by the black doesn't really go into many pockets. So it's hard to get on.
And she has taken on a couple of first visit chances where there's been some problems and just come up short. So you've got to question, is it the right choice here? I'm not necessarily against taking the colour set and then starting to work from there. May not have been required though, maybe just brush off it and ask what Harriet wants to do.
Yeah, there's pressure with the 15 seconds now. It doesn't really give you time to think. Just have to kind of go on first instincts.
Well, Amy found a way to get onto the red that's most awkward to the left of the 8 ball, but just misses the one down the cushion getting there. So it was attacking the bad ball early. It's one of those sort of attacking but in the right way. Now it's Harriet that might be tempted. She has one bad ball herself, and she does have a good ball to break it out.
I think with the bad yellow down the bottom of the table, she might be able to play it off the red into the corner.
Yeah, that's true as well. Yeah, really good point. Yeah, just have to track down and almost get somewhere near level with it, and it becomes almost a straight shot.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that if you don't have to move the ball, don't. Try not to.
That's not the best of shots though.
No.
For Harriet.
Should be playing safe here, I think.
So with 8:42 left, we're into a tactical exchange to see who will take advantage. I think Amy's got a plan for these two reds. I think possibly feels like she can make a pot and open up the other one, which is why she was aggressive first time round and she was choosing to be aggressive there.
Just staying on the safe side.
If Amy plays safe in terms of trying to get the cue ball to the middle of the top cushion here, she's got to be careful, because if she leaves the one over the bottom right on, she could leave an angle to develop the one that is a problem. Has she got the cover? It's tight.
Harriet would be tempted to cut this yellow in and go into the puck. And it looks like she might be doing it.
Great shot.
There you go.
And a good little extra nudge there, just to keep that yellow a little bit more open. The pot deserved it.
Oh, she might be on the wrong side of the yellow, but if she can go into the two reds hard enough, she might leave herself a shot.
Oh, raising the butt of the cue adds to the tariff. Oh, very good.
Nice. Great shot.
So this 8 ball for a lead. Takes the extension just to psych herself up for it. And it's there.
Nice.
Great bit of cueing. Excellent finish. That first pot from Harriet was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great finish.
Yeah, edging herself back in front. This is a group game. Look how focused she is right now. Really wants it here. Big finish here to Ladies' Night at the mini-series.
Yeah, the thing is, with Harry, even if it is group matches at the tours and everything, you see she's always like ultra focused and always like prepared enough for all her matches. Some people probably treat the groups as a bit of a practice just to let their arms go, but she's always ultra prepared.
Yeah, and she's done the calculations as well. I think she thinks there's more on this in terms of thinking that potentially it means a really tough first round in the knockout against Emma Cunningham for the loser. Obviously, that would require the loser to go on and win their next 2 matches and the winner to win the next 2 matches. But and obviously Emma to go and win her group. But the fact that she's done those calculations tells you a lot about the way that Harriet sees it. I can tell you that Amy knows that as well, but only because Harriet told her. Good break, tough layout.
Surprising that. She has a good angle on this red to the bottom right to go into the red on the side cushion. Just taking yellows. Oh! Now then, Amy. It's not the kind that she liked.
Is it worth clock managing here, or is it worth Harriet trying to take these out? That red on the left-hand side is a tricky one. Got some options to break it out, but not guaranteed to go well.
I think Amy's head might be going just a little bit here. She seems a bit rushed, but all Harriet needs to do is take her time. I mean, she wants, if she is going for them, she wants to get that awkward red out as soon as she can.
Yeah, the later she leaves it, but this is the shot.
It's a good angle.
Yeah, but going into it at this angle, you're just not guaranteed to be on anything. And it's one of those, with only 4.5 minutes left, she could have been patient. This needs to go well.
It's a great shot.
Yeah, and she went into it one, like direct rather than one cushion, maybe feeling that was the best chance of being on something up the table.
There's always the chance of snookering herself if she went on the bottom cushion first and went in behind the yellow.
Still a big shot required, and it's not going to drop.
I feel like she rushed that a little bit, Simon.
I mean, yeah, 15 seconds a shot.
Yeah.
It's tough, isn't it? But yeah, I'm with you. Some players have the ability to let 15 seconds a shot and not look like they're rushing.
Stevie Dempsey being
a prime example, yeah. Not the best of first shots from Amy. I feel like she could have got onto the other one on the bottom cushion, could have made this a lot easier.
That's a great putt.
Needs the cue ball to pull up. Well, she needs to play a delicate snooker here. These are always horrible. Yeah, I think there's 2 air shots.
Yeah.
And got there in the end. All fine.
That's good snooker.
It's not golf. You can play air shots. You're okay.
I'm always afraid of double hitting them ones.
Yeah,
I kind of like shake on them shots.
I really hate them. Big shot then in the context of this match. Good hit.
Oh.
And it's not going to go.
Do you know what? I thought it was going to flick off that red there and go in the corner pocket.
Should Amy play another safety though? That's what she's got to work out. It's tough to connect these 3 together. This first shot needs to be brilliant if she takes it on.
3 minutes left.
Past. That's okay. That's a nice little nudge.
Lovely.
She had a little more angle than I thought there.
Oh, just missed it. The drama.
The drama, yeah.
How much of that red can she see, I wonder?
I think she's good. Body language tells me she's on this. That was an excellent shot from Harriet. And this 8 ball, you feel, will be enough for the victory. And 2 frame advantage with only 1:54 left on the clock.
That was massive.
Yeah, huge. Amy will be kicking herself. She knows she should have won that frame. And now 2 frames in under 2 minutes. Can't see it happening. So it feels like Harriet's going to draw first blood here in Mini Series 2, 2023. It may not be the only time they play each other this weekend. They could end up scoring up later on in the tournament, but long way to go yet. We were in the final last time we were here.
So the girls are in Group 8 and then Emma's in Group 9. So is that the way the draw works? Or
I'm going off Harriet. Harriet told me that the loser plays the winner of Group 9, so that's my reasoning.
Okay.
I have full faith that she's done the calculations.
Fair enough. I wish I was that committed to the draw to know to work it all out.
I'm the same. Frame difference can be a factor, so it is worth still grinding out and trying to get the win in this frame, not worrying too much about the match, but it probably matters more for Amy than it does for Harriet. Obviously, no guarantees. They've both got 2 tough matches still to come.
Finish is on here. Obviously, there's that tough yellow by the middle. I'm not sure if she could just drop it in, but she could play it now.
No.
Good on.
Excellent.
It's
Well, if you
there.
can just finish this and get yourself 30 seconds, maybe even 45.
She can just hold on this red as well for the other yellow. Leave a nice angle.
Yeah, this is not a bad angle to get behind the 8 ball, I think. She can use the bottom cushion.
Bit top right. Good on. Compose yourself.
Not to be. And Harriet's going to certainly try with 30 seconds to get the win on the board here. She certainly knows that a frame could make a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard if there's only one match of the group on the stream because they just won't have the chance if it goes to 3-2 or whatever way it works out, because obviously frame difference comes into play.
This is tight. Looks like she's a couple of seconds too long here. Into the final 10 seconds.
Can she do it?
Not going to be for her, but she will get the victory. 4 frames to 2. A cracking match between the numbers 1 and 2 on the women's series. But it's the number 1, Harriet Haynes, that gets the victory.